My people, yeah, people, my people. We're back again, guys. We're back again, guys. Like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe. Guys, like the vid. Press the press the notification button, guys. The notification button, like the vid, subscribe, guys. Subscribe to your boy. Like, subscribe, support us, guys. I'm on Cash App. Support us also. There's like a notification button underneath that has a super chat on it. Send your boy some money for Valentine. Your boy needs some money for Valentine. Support your boy. Support us, guys. Like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe, guys. We're gonna be talking about the Club World Cup celebration tonight. We're gonna be talking about Didier Drogba's talk on Romelu Lukaku. We're also gonna be talking about what's called because I had a discussion today. We're gonna be talking about Areta Balaga, and also we're gonna be talking about Manchester United also too. And we look forward to the Premier League matches and also looking forward to the Carabao Papa John's Cup. I need to win that super trophy. I've missed that trophy since 2015. So like the vid, subscribe, guys, like that. So let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Yeah, my people, we're back, guys. We're back. Like the video, subscribe. So, guys, we're gonna talking about Chelsea celebration. Lukaku, Drogba's comment on Lukaku.
Glorified friendly.
Relax. How we can improve his game. We're also gonna be talking about we're gonna be previewing the UCL this week. We're gonna look at the schedule for this week. UCL. We're gonna preview the UCL. Is back again. UEFA champions. So
having nightmares.
So we're gonna be doing the UCL. Also, guys,
I'm not looking forward to Simeone.
Like the video, subscribe, guys. Support your boy. There's a Cash App. I'm gonna put the Cash App link out. Support us. The Cash App link is underneath the description. Also we have like super chat. You guys can support us on super chat. Send some money to your boy. Let's celebrate Valentine together, guys. Let's do some Valentine together. If you are married, if you have wife, let's celebrate girlfriend, Valentine, boyfriend, Valentine. If you have chicks, Valentine. If you have anybody, let's celebrate Valentine together. Like the subscribe. So guys, let's go. So firstly, let me come to Man United on this. Tom, Manchester United, your take on it, because according to the report we are hearing is the players are turning on them Ragnick. What is the exact problem with? Is it Ragnick? Is it the players or is it the Glazers?
Let me say one simple thing. It's nothing new because it's happened before. Ultimately, I go as far back as Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup, and they won the FA Cup, and the players turned on him in that summer and wanted him gone, and he went. Jose Mourinho comes in. You had 3 years of minimal success in the lower tier competition. You know, Europa League, Carabao Cup, the lower espionage of trophies.
Yeah.
Minimal success there. At the end of it all, the players wanted Mourinho and they turned on him. And they threw him under the bus. It happened. You bring in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, puts a smile on everyone's faces. I was the exact same. because we just had misery for the last 5 years before Ole. And ultimately, in the end, what happened again, Abdullah? The place threw the manager under the bus. Now we've got an interim manager. It's no, responsibility to Ralph. Ultimately, he's in the position that he's in. And the players need to respect him, regardless if he's here for the long term or short term, till the end of the season, and he's going upstairs. The players need to respect him because ultimately he has got this club's, best interests at heart. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come. He's a smart enough man to know if he knows that a project or something's too big for him, he wouldn't come or he wouldn't accept it. He's a smart enough man, intellectually and the educational background that he has, not just football, but the educational background. I think he'd know if it was too big for him and he couldn't do anything to impact or change it. But listen, we all this with the player power stuff and everything. That's what we call it at Man United. We call it player power. Yep. Because ultimately, that's all it is. Martial, Lingard coming out with the statements, criticising the manager in the media and stuff. I'm thinking, it's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. You're coming out on public, platforms, criticising the club that you play for when you've got, billions of people, probably I'd say about 1 billion people around the world who know the brand of Man United or follow you on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. And you're splitting off crap like that. Honestly, bad PR from their PR teams, because these aren't the players that put these posts out. I'd be like, if you don't know, the players don't post these things. It's their PR teams.
It's the PR team, yeah.
Yeah. They have a social media team who do all the marketing, the advertisements that they do, the photo shoots, the lot. They do it all. And like we say, at this football club, I'd be like, nothing ever changes but pause. It rains, but it pours at Man United. And like you said, when you say about players turning on managers and stuff, listen, in the end, I would never say that the Chelsea players, for example, at your football club, I don't think they ever stopped playing for a manager. If I'm being perfect, I don't think they ever stopped playing for a manager. I just think that the manager didn't get the results, and ultimately, your board and your owner have high expectations, and they had enough. Yeah. With every single manager, all the way down from Mourinho, Ancelotti, they all didn't get the results, but the players still played for that manager. Whereas we have a completely different situation. We've overpaid players, either on wages or transfer fees. Harry Maguire, you've got the likes of Pogba there, Ronaldo, there's so many different, names and figuratives, to use and to say about it all. And I think the way I look at it is I've got no emphasis on what you can pinpoint and what you can blame, because it's quite clear now. I said it many times, a couple of years back, probably even before I came on your show, and I was on a couple of other channels and stuff. I said to a lot of different Man United fans and just football fans in general, these players are the ones that are the problem at this football club, not the managers, because the managers can only do so much. They coach the players what to do. It's the players who need to take it on board. They're grown-ass men. They get paid well over 100 grand a week, pretty much most of the squad players. Most of our top, players, squad player or first team, you get paid more than 100 grand a week.
Yeah.
Put in a shift. I don't care if we don't win the game. Put in a shift. You run around.
Do you think
you run around, you emphasize?
Okay, let me put it this way, because I've been thinking about this for a very long time. Do you think because of the board is thinking about changing their philosophy to like the way club Guardiola and Tuchel playing, they want to go into like getting a manager of like Ragnick into playing like a German football, pressing possession, gang pressing football, or are they thinking of sticking to their model of playing in terms of counter-attacking football and winning matches? Because I know Ferguson play possession football. I know he plays for them, but he does.
Yes.
And he win matches with that. I know that for sure because I've watched
Yes.
So, do United want to go back to the Ferguson era, or they want to stick to the new era? That's what I don't know.
Well, this is what I think is going to play to testament with who is going to be the new manager in the summer. I personally don't think Ralph Rangnick is going to be given the job full time. I think he will go upstairs and do his magic upstairs, and from what he can do. And it is a 2-horse race. It's Pochettino or it's Ten Hag. And the way you've just said it there, you want to go down the same model that you've always gone down? The counter-attacking, the low block, the
Low
dropping,
block, hit on the counter.
minimal pressing, no system, all those things. You've got a style of play, yeah, but it's not this aggressive style.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Pochettino, I think. I think Pochettino would set the team up to play in a similar shape and a similar way to how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did. Utilise your wide players with the counter-attacking capabilities that you have. You've got your Rashfords, Sancho's, Greenwoods. Brilliant on the counter-attack and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd probably do well against teams like City in a one-off game or whatever, like we did with Ole. Ole ultimately was the man who had Pep's number for 2 years. I don't think Pep won a game against him in the league for 2 years in 4 matches, but he's his tactical messiah and everything. But if we go down like you just said there with Alex Ferguson with the possession-based football, anybody who knows football, you don't even have to watch the Eredivisie. If you watch the Champions League of the last 2 or 3 years and you've watched a game with Ajax in it, know Erik Ten Hag plays very similar to how Pep Guardiola modelled his team at Barcelona.
Yeah.
Very similar. Young players, develop them, bring them through the academy, nurture them into a dynasty. And then obviously you bring into play your other, players, your recruitment team who get your players from Europe and stuff, and you build your squad from there, and you get the best out of the players that you have at your disposal. And ultimately, that's why you've got the 2 options. And you obviously, I asked you the question last night, Abdullah, when we had the discussion. Who is the easier option? And you said Pochettino.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ask any Man United fan, who is the easiest managerial appointment to go out there and get for the Glazer family, for just Man United in a sense? Pochettino. Because Pochettino will work with minimal requirements, and he'll utilise the budget that is given to him, and he won't demand anything from the board or managers or anything, because that's just the person that he is. He gets on with it, which in some cases I respect that, for just getting on with it and in a way, yeah, being a yes man and do what you're told, and you put your place. Whereas somewhere like a Ten Hag, I think it would clash. I think it would clash. I really, really do. The only reason people made the point about Conte when he was available, I didn't want Conte for the sole reason of, I think he would have done wonders with the squad that we had. I think he would have done brilliantly with the team. Probably get us top 4 at the end of the season, but he would have had a blow up in the summer.
Yeah,
he would have had a major blow up in the summer over the recruitment policy, because Man United want to go down this model of attacking football, bringing the youth system into play, buying young players from Europe's best clubs and develop them. That's not Antonio Conte. And there would have been the clash. The bomb would have fell out, and then you'd have had everything to do with in the summer again, and we're back to square one with no manager. But this is the thing, Abdullah, and this is why I've already made the case in point of, if we get Pochettino or Ten Hag, to be fair, we're getting a good coach at the end of the day. That's the one thing that I know. We're going to get at least a good coach.
Yeah.
Because of all the crap that we've heard over the last couple of years, where it's been, we've gone for the boringest managers, or managers who are past the prime or past the sell-by date. David Moyes knew the league. Well, he couldn't hack it at one of the biggest clubs in the world, or in England. Louis van Gaal was, in my opinion, I think at the time, probably past his best when he came to Man United. You could see his style of play, but probably a bit outdated. Mourinho, well, I think we got Mourinho about 5 years out of date. I still will never get the point of why you guys went back in for him for that second time, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Relax.
But
no comment.
But you get my point anyway. But listen, at the end of the day, Ten Hag, we're getting a good coach, but Pochettino's the easy, simple option. If you want to go for something different to what we've done in previous years and go down a different model, and in a way showcase that there is some change, where you've got Ralph Ragnick going upstairs, you've got new directors that have been appointed 18 months, in the jobs and stuff, and a new CEO for the last 12 days or whatever. You go for Ten Hag.
I'm laughing when something happened, because I see some United fans laughing, and they say they are praying for God Chelsea to start Tuchel, so Tuchel could come to United and walk. No. And I was like, that makes me laugh, because Tuchel is under contract in 2024. You have to buy.
I'm
You
not
have to
bothered
buy him
about
out of contract.
I'm
That's
not
for,
bothered about these sort of coaches though, to be honest with you, Abdullah. Because when I look at it on the contrary, on the basis of it, right,
mm-hmm.
4 of the clubs in the Premier League, out of I would say the top 6,
Mm-hmm.
have probably 4 of the top 5 managers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'd say Pep's there, Klopp's there, Tuchel's there. I would say Conte's top 5. Even still being at Tottenham, I still think he's in top 5 from what he did at Inter.
Yeah.
And it's up for debate who the 5th is. Mancini, I don't know, Poch, Enrique, Ten Hag, whoever you want to put in that 5th category.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, Pochettino probably should have come after Spurs. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
We're going down this new, regime, this new, what can I say, like independent team. Behind the scenes, everything's been shuffled. People have been moved on. Edward Wood and stuff. We've brought in somebody completely different. Yeah, same, sort of theory, finances before football.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, make the right decision. That's all I say, man. Make the right decision, make the right call. If you want to go down something completely different, go and take a chance on Erik Ten Hag. In my personal opinion, he's proved himself enough at Ajax, and I know for a fact, I know because I've done my groundwork on it. I've worked in the journalism channels to find it all out.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Pep Guardiola leaves Manchester City, do you know who the two coaches that Manchester City will want?
Ten Hag.
Ten Hag's one of them, and who's the other one?
I think based on the philosophy they are playing, I believe, I'm not sure, maybe Luis Enrique or Roberto
Yes. I was going to say he's a Barcelona man, yeah. Luis Enrique.
Mm-hmm.
They're the 2 coaches that Manchester City want to succeed Pep Guardiola if he sustains us, sabbatical, leaves, whatever. They're the 2 coaches that they want.
Yeah.
And this is the problem that I have with Man United. We never jump when the iron's hot. We never do it on a player. We never do it in, when there's the best footballing directors out there. And we never do it when the best coaches are out there. We're always too slow to the button.
Mm-hmm.
Like a snail trying to crawl over the line.
Yeah.
And you've got Man City or, an F1 car just breeze past. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I say, make the right decision. And, there was the point, I'm at the final point, Abdullah. They made the point, the players, that they prefer Pochettino to Ten Hag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what the players say. The players don't decide who a manager should be, ultimately. And like I've said to you many times, Abdullah, right? Half of this squad will not be here in this summer, either because they're going as free agents or they're just going to be gone anyway.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, or they want to leave for for just some reason, like Ronaldo. If we don't get CL football, there's different causes in every single player. But I'll tell you now, half this squad won't be here, and Ragnick will go upstairs, do his bit of magic that he can, and if he doesn't get his way, he'll walk. And you know what? I'll agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's my 2 pence anyway on it all.
Yeah, I agree. So, Oga Blue Eyes.
Oh,
hey,
God.
Hey, man. How far, man?
Oh, God.
Which one is Jay Harvertz now? Now, stop
Joy.
this.
Joy. I told you Kai Havertz's new name is Joy, man. Joy.
Glorified friendly.
Joy,
Joy Harvertz.
Yeah, Joy, man. No, I'll just call him Joy.
Me that I love Harvertz, you are making my love for Harvertz more. You are giving me.
You have to catch up to me, man. You have to catch up to me.
No. You have to catch up because I'm the advocate of Harvertz.
You are, but I have overtaken you. I have overtaken you, man.
So, give me firstly, how has been your Sunday?
My brother, we thank God. I'm finally back to base this weekend. Trying to adjust from all the fun I had in Cameroon.
We might go together, me, you, and me, possibly to Cameroon and to Ivory Coast next
year. For when is it? Next year? Eh?
Next year. I'm thinking about it, but we'll see. We might. Because it's in the summer, so it's pretty easy to do that. It's in the summer.
You got a little road trip going.
Yeah, it's like 1 month. Just kind of chill, relax. Yeah, it's 1 month.
I know you got to dedicate 1 month. I have to recover from this one first.
Still recovering from
you're almost using more than 2-3 months already.
Yeah, I lost. No, I lost one because last year I didn't take any vacation at all. So what I did was
Okay.
for last year I didn't take any vacation. I saved it till January, then took
January.
everything in
Okay.
January. Yeah, so it kind of
It's
balanced
better.
out. But I came back
Because
and I'm
I'm
seeing all
happy
the.
it's in the summer.
Mm,
It's in June, so I might take just the summer off and come back around August, maybe before the Premier League match starts, or after
okay,
that.
okay,
I
okay.
might go with wifey too. We might go together and just
Oh,
chill out.
nice,
Yeah.
nice,
I might,
Nice,
nice,
nice.
we might go together to Ivory Coast and just chill there.
nice,
We do
nice.
some vlogs. I have to buy some.
Some vlogs.
Yeah, I'm gonna do YouTube vlogs. I might buy
Yeah,
some microphone and everything. I'm
you
serious.
might buy what?
Microphone and everything. We might do
Oh
some
yeah,
vlogs.
You're
yeah.
doing fan cams from Ivory
You
Yeah,
can
fan
do
Coast.
cams. Yeah,
you can do what we did. Like we got to
to talk to people. Hey guys,
Air-
what do you think about
you,
Nigeria people?
yeah, that kind of stuff. You get like what we did. We got two Airbnbs
Mm-hmm.
in Cameroon, so we didn't really stay in a hotel. We stayed in
My
Airbnbs.
wife too is very good in kind of writing articles, so she might be able to like
There you
converse
go.
with people, so many stuff and everything.
Is she a
So
Yeah,
journalist? Abdullahi?
we might go to Cameroon. We'll see. Though. We might go to Africa because you never can
Ivory
tell.
Coast.
But we'll see.
Mm.
Is she a
So
journalist, Abdullahi? Like?
yeah, no, she's part of a journal. She does write articles too.
Oh, fair enough.
She's a linguistic.
Oh,
Oh,
nice,
linguistic, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
no, she does write article a lot. So
Mm.
I don't delve in that side of journalism.
yeah, but she's kind of a little
I've
bit
heard
in
of
terms
it.
of journal. But the journalism she does mostly is with newspaper, report paper, and such kind of stuff.
Nice.
I'm telling her
I know what you
to go
mean.
to sports in terms of doing sport analysis, and she said like she has to do some research that she's not really good in kind of sport aspect.
Oh, nice, nice,
Mhm.
nice. Slowly but surely, no.
Yeah, small.
Yeah, small,
Yeah.
my brother, man. Small,
So,
small.
Bryce, your take on them? Manchester divided. They are turning on the manager. So, who is to blame? Is it the Glazers? Is it United? What exactly? Give us a breakdown.
Is
What's
it me?
I know. Remember the first time, like when he first came, I knew that guy. He's too nerdy. He's too nerdy for the EPL. Like I can just see.
Too nerdy.
Yeah, he's too nerdy for the EPL. His body language. He's too like you see. Like he's more of a what is it called? An educationist than a coach. And
Yeah,
Manchester United need like anybody who talks about Ragnick talks about him academically.
academic, yeah, education.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah,
he talks
nobody talks about him,
as a
about
coach.
X's. Yeah, a politician or an X's and O's guy.
Mhm.
So, it's if when you tell me who shares responsibility, I'll tell you everybody. But most importantly, Ralph Ragnick, I think, shares responsibility. If you're coming into with all this experience and all this hype behind your name, you're letting players overcome your influence, and it comes down to winning performance. You could be the best coach in the world. If you bring Alex Ferguson in right now, the players are still going to turn on him. Players feed their egos with victories.
Mm-hmm.
Players feed their ego. Let that sink in, folks, especially in the EPL. Players feel their egos. That's how they eat, is victories, performances. We've seen this happen, Abdullahi, at Cobham.
Yeah, a
With
lot.
John Terry
It
and them,
happens.
and them
Yeah.
guys. When we
Yeah.
turned on, what's his name? When we turned on AVB.
Ancelotti,
No,
AVB, Ancelotti,
AVB, no, but most
no,
importantly, AVB.
AVB, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
Lampard and Co.
exactly. It
Lampard
wasn't
and
because,
recipient.
yeah, it
Lampard and
wasn't because.
recipient.
Thank you. It wasn't because AVB was an amateur or whatever
Mhm.
because he was young. No,
Mm-hmm.
it was because we were not winning games.
And it was too toxic for them. It was very
Yes,
toxic.
too
Very.
toxic, too
Mhm.
toxic. So at the end of the day, if you look at the framework of what Manchester United is putting together,
Mm-hmm.
they have to live with their consequences and grind out. They find a way. No, you do. You have to grind out results right now, or you should have left Michael Carrick.
Yeah.
Leave Michael Carrick on a temporal basis.
And move
And that-
Ragnick up. Just move him up.
No, no, not even that. And look for the right coach with the right DNA that suits what Manchester United does. That's the problem.
ETK. Do you know what
Who?
that stands for, guys?
I know ITK. I too know, but I don't know ETK. What does ETK mean?
Eric.
Oh,
Ten Hag. Eric Ten
no,
Hag.
but you know what? Even Eric Ten Hag, I don't think would do a good job because Eric Ten Hag. It's you see one thing about EPL fans, we get carried away with sexy names, shiny names. It's all about the shiny names. No, it's the truth. Like if the name sounds good and everything, and everybody just man, he's just right now. I think the approach that Manchester United has to adopt is short-term. Look for routes and ways to gain short-term success. If you're able to turn short-term success around, then you can start before you start thinking about long-term success. And I don't even think Rangnick is going to want to go upstairs if he doesn't do well. If he doesn't do well this time around, what is he going to go upstairs to do?
My problem, would they even listen to him? That's my problem.
Drink coffee.
Yes.
Otherwise, drink coffee at board meetings.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem, because we then listen to Rangnick, even if we go upstairs. Because
the players aren't listening to him, so why is anybody behind the scenes going to listen?
Yeah,
that's what the problem is now, because United they have been watching from top to bottom, and it's difficult now for me. Like any manager that comes to the United now doesn't have an ambition to win. That's it, because the club will be like, you have to win. I'll be like, you have to win, but you are giving me this player that doesn't fit to my philosophy. How do you want me to win? How? And United, this is my problem with United. They're bringing a manager who is a yes manager, not a manager who will tell them, if you don't give me this player, I am not succeeding. Period. Either I'm gonna walk away or you give me this player. If you don't give me this player, I'm walking away. It's period. But they're bringing a manager who they believe they have control over. So they're like a yes manager. Okay, yes, I get you. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I get you. That doesn't work in football. It doesn't.
No, but either way, man. Yeah, and it looks like everything is everything is coming to the fore. Like Ronaldo it's coming to. I don't think Ronaldo has it in him anymore. I don't know what's going on. My hero Orororo. I don't think anything is coming out of Ronaldo anymore.
For me, my problem is, yes, Ronaldo it's not that Ronaldo will know, but you can still get something from Ronaldo if you have the right players around him. Because for me, the mentality of the United player sucks. From top to bottom, the mentality is sucks.
No, listen, you're forgetting something. It's not about mentality. It's about, remember what I said? Players feed their egos on victories.
Victories, yeah.
And until you ramp up on those victories, you're going to see this ugly side of a player.
Yeah.
That's why it's very, you see, like, I hate using Chelsea as an example, but we're playing like shit, but we're winning.
Yeah.
We're winning cups. And when you win cups, what that does is that it keeps the fire of the winning spirit in your
morale,
players. Thank you. So your players can feed on that. So now it's going to be easy. Now when Thomas Tuchel goes back to the dressing room, he can get back to X's and O's because players have belief.
They believe in him.
Exactly. No, in themselves.
In themselves, and they can tell that we have this manager who will back us 100%.
No. I don't think.
In terms of
I don't
playing,
think we're there yet. I don't think
what I'm saying is
with our coach. No,
what
he's
I'm
still
saying
on
is,
probation, man.
Relax.
He's still on probation.
See, I understand your perspective. No, I understand your perspective.
Tuchel.
Yeah, Tuchel is still on probation, my brother, man. Let's not get too carried away. He's doing a fantastic job, but I'm like our board. Our board, like I still feel he's on. But this is me being negative. I still feel he's on. I still feel there's a lot of work to be done, and he's doing it. He's getting there. No, he's getting there. He's getting there for sure. I can't wait. I don't want him. Obviously, I don't want him gone, but I just don't want people to get carried away too soon. But he's doing a fantastic job. But with Man U, if they cannot grind out 1 or 2, they need at least 5 straight wins right now.
I don't think it's possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible.
Why not?
Blue ice. I'll give you one reason. I'll give you one reason.
No, let's pull up your schedule and see.
Listen. I looked at the schedule from the last 5 games.
Okay.
Oh, I said we'll beat Middlesbrough, we'll beat Burnley, we'll beat Southampton.
Yeah,
we've drew all of them. 1-1.
Yeah.
King of 1-1s at the moment. Look at this. Brighton.
King of 1-1s.
Well, Graham Potter. Harry Potter's going to do his wizardry. Then we've got Bielsa at Ellen Road.
Bielsa
probably put a shift in.
No, Bielsa could get got. They play a high line, so they could get got.
Yeah, but we'll probably get capsized by Simeone.
Oh, Atletico Madrid.
No, don't even start, Blue Eyes. Don't even start. I can't be asked with this running up the touchline and cojones and all that bollocks. I can't be asked.
Oh my god, man. Yo, but
Oh,
either
and then
way,
we got Watford.
and then you got exactly. So
Oh, Roy Hodgson. Oh no.
Norwich, there you go. So I mean, there's a chance here. If you can string up a couple, at least 3 to 5 wins. If not, then Ralph Ragnick is gone, man.
After that, they're in
Look at
trouble
this. Look at
still.
this. Look at
Man
this. City,
Tottenham,
Spurs, Atletico,
Liverpool.
Liverpool, Leicester.
But you guys, you guys do better playing big teams, anyways.
No.
You know the problem with United.
When was the last time you played City? Wasn't it under Ole?
Yeah, we lost 2-0.
They lost
No,
2-0.
but
We got played off the park.
No, but Ole beat Pep how many times?
But no. Blue Eye, this is the problem. Ole is different than Ragnick now. This United team doesn't want to play at all for the manager. They don't want to play at all. They're not even showing the
Why would you want to play when you're playing like shit? You're not gonna want any coach right now that comes in is gonna get got to Man U. If you're playing like, sorry for my language, if you're playing like shit, no player is gonna want to play. They're gonna want you out. These, like I said, these are big egos. These are 200,000 pounds a week egos.
How does the manager fix this ego now? Because the United fans are saying they want.
They can't. You can't fix something like this mid-season.
Exactly.
It's a summer job where you have no games, you have no pressure, you have nothing, and you can have a cultural reset. Like I've already said many times, I'm like, there's a new manager coming at the end of the season. If Ralph makes it upstairs without being shot and blown out of the door or walking out, by all means, best of luck, because he's going to bloody need it. If he can't coach these players on the field and the players aren't wanting to listen to him, I have no idea how he's going to turn real estate men and businessmen into people who want to win things. Honestly, I know he can turn an energy drink and make 2 footballing clubs out of it. The man must be a genius for that, but he must be an even bigger genius to try and solve something like this. But like I say, a new coach will come in the summer, and half of this team will be gone in the summer anyway, because of pre-contract signings or whatever that they've signed with other clubs, or they're just leaving because we don't achieve something. We don't get CL football. Half the players are going to want to go because 25% of the wages get taken away.
Taken away, yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that 25% increase. And to be honest with you, Abdoulaye, they don't bloody deserve it. None of them. None of those players on that field deserve anything at the moment.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know, man, but you know what? It's now you guys know how it feels, Manchester United. Now you're getting a taste of your medicine.
Blue eyes, please don't even start.
No, it's the truth.
No.
I'm not trying to rub it in, but you guys are getting the taste of your medicine. We've gone through this. We're still going through it. We know what this means in terms of players turning on, this whole thing about mutiny. We understand that chemistry. We're still not out of the woods yet.
But you're winning things. That's the thing, Blue Eyes.
Exactly.
That's the difference. You're winning things. You're winning trophies. We're not even winning matches.
Thank you. You're absolutely right, Tom. And this is what, if Man U, like, all you guys need to do, and you're still in the Champions League. So, it's
not
true.
Not for long.
You're laughing, man. If you guys can roll, listen, Atletico Madrid right now are not playing the best football. Let's be fair.
Doesn't matter.
But
the
problem is, yes, Atletico are not playing good football, but you cannot write them off in the UCL.
You guys remember 2012? Was Chelsea playing the best football? Chelsea was like in Man U's position right now.
But there's a difference in that.
What was the difference?
Chelsea has more experience in that team, and also they have more winning mentality in that team. This United team doesn't want to play football.
But remember, okay, true.
We had Drogba, we had Lampard, we had so many.
But what position were we in the EPL? What position? What position were we?
Sixth.
No, we were even below 6th at this time. Same time, 2012. Yeah, we were below.
But the difference in that is the difference in that is in that era in 2012. We had player who wants to give the club their all. No. We remember we were
like
Drogba because
Abdoulaye, you're missing the point. Abdoulaye, no, we pulled a mutiny on AVB. We were just coming off a mutiny on AVB, and then we brought in an inexperienced guy,
Di Matteo.
So, thank you, Albert. We were 10th. Thank you, my brother. That's why I'm saying we were 10th. And then we brought in an inexperienced. I still consider him a legend. What's his name? Di Matteo. Yeah, because I watched him play, so I consider him a Chelsea legend because of his playing career. and
Yeah.
and then we were crawling. We were kind of managing with it. They brought him in to just try and steady the ship for the EPL. And guess what? Guess what we did in the Champions League, guys? So if you think if you actually do a copy paste with Manchester United now, this is the best time for them to play because they're going to go into the Champions League. Guess what? As underdogs. It's the truth, man. You're laughing.
Yeah,
But the
yeah, no, you are saying the truth, Blue Eyes,
yeah, but the problem
I
is,
You're
just
going in as
I
underdogs, so it
agree with what
takes
you
the
said.
pressure.
I don't believe
Bryce,
anymore.
No, hold on.
I've been
It
Bryce,
takes
sold
the
false
pressure.
hope so many
Bryce, yes,
times.
I agree with what you said.
Man, what happened to your winning spirit? No wonder Roy Keane is pissed.
Hold on. Blue Eyes. Name the last time we won a trophy.
I don't know, man.
2017.
You can't.
Ten
Exactly.
Hag?
That's how bad it
Not-
is. You
what-
can't even
Europa
remember.
League and
You
Papa
can't
John's
even
Cup, Papa
remember.
John's
This
Cup,
is
Papa
how bad it
John's
is.
Cup.
No. Let me make the point. If you're not even knowing, that's how bad it is.
Mm.
That is how bad it is.
Let me come to Thai Talks CFC now. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, but I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just I came at the right time because all I'm hearing is Man United bantering and the just rubbing it in their face. But it is what it is, man. I have to feel sorry for them. I have to feel sorry for them.
Your take on Manchester United, is it the board? Is it Glazers? Why is the player?
I think there's a lot of reasons, man. There's a lot of reasons, and I see you guys brought up one of the main reasons, and that is the player power, the egos that are there, and I think it's a problem that has been there for so long, and it doesn't really help because I've always said this, and not only at Man United, you've seen it in various clubs. You see that the generational talent or the quote unquote young players, they have this aspiration of being the most expensive player at particular clubs, so they have that big ego where I'm the best. I'm earning this amount of money, so I don't care because at the end of the week and at the end of the month, I'm earning such and such amount of money, so they don't really care. But I think it's like what I heard you guys were saying about they look like they're not playing. They don't want to play for Ralph. It's actually true because obviously you have mixed people who say that Ralph isn't really a tactical mastermind, but he actually does have some tactical ability. And ever since he came in, they haven't really looked better than they were 6 weeks before he was appointed. And even worse actually, because I mean, even though Oli was losing games, he I think they graded a win against Spurs, and then I think it's quite funny because they wanted they wanted Conte, and then conveniently Spurs lose to them, and then Conte goes to Spurs. So it's quite interesting because it's a case where you have Man United are in a position where they have so many big egos in their squad, and I mean Ronaldo doesn't really help because you have Ronaldo who is quote unquote trying to tell them certain things that they don't want to believe it. Then that's going to be a problem. And like you guys were saying, it's not a case where you can solve it overnight. It has to be something that is long term. It's going to take something permanently. It won't be temporarily done or in a short period because it's going to take them months to do it because you have certain players who are not either good enough for them, players who think they're good enough but they actually don't perform up to the level that they should do. And you have players who are there who don't get the chance or didn't get the chance, and as soon as they get the move, they perform better. So it's a case where they're in turmoil. Obviously, you have fans who say that the Glazers need to be out and things like that. But even if they get those people out, it's not going to solve the major problem, and that is that the mentality is in there, the mindset. You have big egos there, and it's going to take a long period to get back to where they'd probably like to. But like you guys said, at the moment, they don't look like they have an ambition per se, because obviously, if it's a case where they want top four and go to the Champions League, qualifying for the Champions League again, and then they don't really care about if they get eliminated, then clearly there's no ambition there. But I mean, it's a long-term process that will be needed in order for them to have any stability, for them to get back to winning things like they were in the past.
Yeah. But I also believe that because if you look at this United squad, they are not meant, for me, they are not meant of a possession based football. It's more of a counter attacking football. So they have to look into the squad of which manager can we bring in that can play that counter attacking football, because the player they have right now cannot play a game pressing football. No. You need a player that can play that game pressing. They don't have a DM. Yes, they have a wingers, but do they really play more as a team? Because it's this team here is more of an individual, not like a team play. Because if you want to win the game of sport, you need more like a team, not fully of an individual. But sometimes you need a difference maker in which can just win you games in just one of matches and you don't even believe you will win. Just beat 1, 2, 3 players and boom, it's game over. But you also need to play as a team too to win matches, because if you play more as a team, it'll be very difficult to penetrate and beat. United team doesn't have it. All they have is individuals, egos, and that cannot win you championship match. I'm sorry, it cannot win you matches. It cannot. For me, it cannot.
Yeah. That is what 100% true, because it's like you said, they have personalities there who they think they're good enough, and I mean, based on their standard, I wouldn't really say so. You have certain players who think that they're progressing in a positive way, but at the same time, if even if you're a neutral fan, even if you're a rival fan that just watch the game because you know you can get some happiness because you guarantee them performing poorly, you see that the players that think that they're all that, or they have the ability that is necessary, they don't, because and like I said, you have to look at it as a long-term process, because it's not going to be fixed easily. If you have certain players who are tied down to contracts, you're not going to be easily getting those players out to reduce the egoistical attitude that they have there, because it's going to be a case where you have to find certain ways of getting them out without really being affected financially.
That's I agree. That's true. That's true, because if you look at United right now, for me, I don't know how this stuff could be fixed. Maybe in 2, 3 years time, because it's gonna be difficult to fix this stuff, because United is a big brand who wants to win, but you cannot keep winning when you have egoless player like Ronaldo who wants to win. Bruno is there, Labille is there. You have Cavani, Sancho, Rashford. So many players in that team that too much of egos is killing them, is making them underperform, and that could deteriorate the way the player perform in terms of on the pitch. Because if you cannot play for it as a team, you will lose matches instead of you winning. You will lose matches. You will. You will. Player like Harry Maguire doesn't even deserve to be the club captain of United. It's just like from pan to fire. It's just like just catastrophe to catastrophe. Is it's something else entirely. Something else entirely. I don't know how to put it. Something else entirely.
Yeah, yeah, and for the average rival fans, you be happy that they're not performing good, but at the same time, you have to scratch your head and wonder how they've gone from where they were into a position where you have all these players who don't want to play for the manager, who are playing poorly, who think that they're good enough, and they're not, and you have players who think that they should be playing games when they're not playing games. So it's pretty weird, and I mean, for me, I get a laugh out of them doing poorly, but at the same time, it's pretty weird to think about the team that they used to be being a team that is in the top four. They fall out of the top four, back into top four, Champions League, get relegated into the Europa League, and then it's back and forth. So it's pretty weird, even though you get a laugh out of it, because they had set a level, and I mean, at the end of the day, they still have the most title wins at the moment, and I mean, it's interesting to think about that, but I mean, it just proves to you that over time football evolves, and over time it gets different, and it surprises you in the most unexpected ways.
I agree. I completely agree. So, I want to talk about something else. Not Premier League, not this one, not this one. So I want to come to my thoughts on this. This is what the man himself said, and I respect him a lot in football. He's my legend. This is what he said. As a big player, you have to accept the criticism. You need to go home and think about how you can improve your game, how you can bring something else to the team. That's what he's doing. That is what I was doing when I was playing Drogba and Romelu Lukaku. Your take on that?
Yeah, and I mean it's in a sense. Obviously, we know that what Lukaku did something that really that caused a split in the fan base. Obviously, that with that interview and everything. But I mean, in a sense, even though it's not of the same severity or it wasn't as severe, Drogba, in 2009, I think it was at the end of the game. Obviously, there were reports saying that Robin Abramovich wanted him to be sold after that, and apparently, I think it was Marina who told him that he shouldn't sell him just because of what he said and what he said on TV. But I mean, after that, even though it caused some embarrassment, he became a meme. After all, he like he said right here, when you're gonna have to accept the criticism because obviously people were criticizing him because I think in his first season he was injured for a while, and I think people were making that comparisons last season with Vernon, how many goals were scored, but with Drogba, a lot of people will say that if he was in this era right now, he would be appreciated more. But when the era that he was playing in, he had other strikers who looked like they were greater than him, and obviously he has the goals, he has the stats in big games that he's a big game player and things like that. But like he's saying right here, I mean, with Lukaku did something. It's clear. You don't need to be a psychologist to know that Lukaku isn't really confident. He doesn't have the confidence in his inability. He passes the ball when earlier in the season he would be taking shots. He would be trying to score goals from the distances that he's passing the ball in. So I mean, in a sense, Drogba is speaking the truth, and I mean it's good that he thinks he can redeem himself and have some redemption after scoring 2 goals consecutively. But I mean, there's more than what meets the eye right now because obviously, based on what he said in his interview, it does cause some division because he's going to be saying, does he want to be here? Did he even want to come to the club? Was he saying about having unfinished business? Was it just to sweet talk the media, sweet talk the fans? So there's other things that are there. There's other factors. There's a lot more things that need to be resolved. And I mean, a lot of fans will be saying that he needs to apologize on the pitch, and necessarily his overall performances hasn't really been convincing to say that he is going to be returning, or he wasn't going to return to where he was performing, scoring 2 goals consecutively against Aston Villa and then Brighton. But I mean, it's not impossible for him to start performing better and redeeming himself, especially after winning a trophy, playing a role in the club winning the trophy. So in a sense, it's not impossible. But I mean, if Lukaku can look at this because they're close friends, obviously, even though in his interview for Chelsea, he did say that he likes to put his game to the same level as Drogba. He likes to implement or to perform in a similar way to how he used to play. So I mean, Drogba is what Drogba is saying in particular. He needs to ignore the criticism. He needs to be more mature. He needs to be more professional because he necessarily hasn't really done that.
Yeah, that's what I want Lukaku to do, because if you look at Drogba, yes, I think in his first 2 seasons, it wasn't the Drogba we know, but I think the best Drogba we see was under Carlo Ancelotti. That was the Drogba we know, because that year Drogba really performed very, very well. He did perform very well, and no one can say rubbish about him because he did perform. But my problem with that is, does Romelu Lukaku have the ability to perform just the way they were perform in those 2009 years? That is my problem with it, because Drogba is just such a small name. He's a big player, and Drogba knows how to win. You cannot neglect the winning of Drogba, because you can't neglect what he knows how to win. So when you know Drogba knows how to win, there's no way he's not gonna have a conversation with Lukaku and telling him, bro, people will criticize you whether you like it or not. You just have to like turn the criticism head off, work on your game, work on yourself, and become a top player for Chelsea and to the world, and show the world you still have that ability to score goals, to help your team, and also to kind of dictate your game in the way you want to play. So for me, Drogba is kind of helping him make a better decision in terms of scoring goals, helping the team. Now, for me, it's left for Lukaku to implement what Drogba said into the pitch and make it work. It's not on Drogba, it's on Lukaku himself to show, Didier, yes, I've watched you play, I've watched you grow up, I've watched everything. Now I'm gonna implement what you said into making it more, how do I put it? Working it out and going onto the pitch and showing myself as a player and the ability to score goals and help the team. I will perform in a very way you're gonna kind of the fans is gonna kind of like me and perform much better. So for me, that's what I think. But do you think he's lacking confidence or his ability to kind of score goals is kind of a little bit coming down, or you still have more hope that this goals he scored now will kind of help him going forward? What's your take on it?
I think it may be a little bit of both, because I mean, obviously, even before everything happened, he wasn't scoring goals. He had a goal drought, and I mean, it was a case where he was scoring goals, but some of them were offside. Sometimes he wasn't timing his runs perfectly, and he was giving it. So I think it's probably a bit of both. But like I said, him some part of it is confidence, because he's passing the ball in positions where he should be looking to take a shot, try to get a goal on target. He doesn't do that. He tries to pass the ball, and on many occasions he even did it. He even did it in the final of the Club World Cup. He did it against Spurs with Hakim Ziyech in the early moments of the Carabao Cup game. He did it on a lot of occasions. So obviously there is something psychologically going on with him. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know if it's him feeling pressure because of what he did. But I think it's probably both, because obviously if he's going to be complaining about the system not suiting him, and I mean, a lot of people say that one of the reasons why he was doing so good in the Serie A is because you have a coach like Conte who wanted him for a long time, who's going to be trying to, and you can't shy away from this. Conte played an important role in him improving what at the time what was a good first touch. Obviously, we haven't really seen that as it was before. He's being bullied off the ball quite easily. He's losing the ball easily, and sometimes you have to wonder: is he necessarily just big, or is he strong and robust as fans think he is? So I think it's probably both, because he's complaining about the system not suiting him. He's not scoring lots of goals, and obviously it shows that he's lacking certain attributes when it comes on to helping the team in the final third, because he's losing the ball easily. He's trying to get past players, and they're easily just dispossessing him. So obviously, I think it's probably both. But I mean, it's understandable if it's it has to do with psychological issues as well, because he's been pressured, because he's on he's on social media, so he's going to be seeing fans saying that you have to you have to prove that you're actually
A big game
ready.
player.
Yeah, because people will say that his apology it looks PR. It looks like it was planned by the club itself to give fans a certain apology, whether it was sincere or not. So people will say that he apologized, whether you believe it or not, whether you want to forgive him or not. He has to prove that he's actually sorry on the pitch, and I mean, he didn't really show it, even though he scored I think it was 3 goals ever since that. So obviously it's a case where even though he apologized, and whether or not people want to believe it, he's not really showing he's gonna try to return to what he was doing in the 2 games before the interview came out.
So it's, for me, it's a little bit like we've bashed Lukaku. We've talked so much on Lukaku for me. Like he just right now, it's just like annoying right now. Just speaking about him right now, talking much about him because when you talk about goal scoring, I have no doubt in him that he will score goals. But my problem is with him is his positioning, his off-ball movement, his awareness. That is what I think he needs to work on more to become a successful player in Chelsea for me. Because if you want to become success in the club in which you go up supporting and you like, you have to show more to yourself. And I think in the last two matches, yes, we've been playing bad, but at least it's came in clutch and it's won trophies. And like he's won the Club World Cup now. For me, that could be a spring in terms of uh, moving forward, in terms of his confidence, in terms of his ability to show more, and in terms of going forward. So that could help him more in terms of that. My hope for him is just like now this has happened now. How can you go forward in this? How can you do well? Like how can you do things to moving forward and making yourself much better and making things work for you. So for me though, we'll see how it goes and everything how it goes. So I want to talk about someone else. I want to talk about someone else. For me, people in the tier already knows my love for him. They know how much I love him. When they talk about him, I just laugh. I don't say much. I just laugh, and I laugh and I let the kind of stuff the football talk himself. I like the football talk. I don't do too much. I don't talk too much. I just like okay. You guys want to abuse him? Keep abusing him. But this man will come clutch, whether you like it or not. It will
But I
come
feel like I
clutch.
know who you're talking about, but I don't know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I know who you're talking about, but I might be wrong.
Whether they like it or not, for me, whether they hate him or they like him, is come up clutch. And for his age, man, you gotta give him the respect. It's Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I thought so, man. I thought so.
It's Kai
Didier,
Havertz.
Didier Havertz.
Yeah, Kai Havertz. I call him the German Zidane.
Yeah.
Because when people come at him, people call him this, people are like, man, you guys have to realize because this guy is young. Despite him being young, he has the ability of a goal scorer in him. Whether you like it or not, yes, it may be like one game wonder and everything, but this guy will know the potential with with a manager like Tuchel that can improve his game, his better decision making, his awareness and everything. He can be that world class player. They live up to the potential we want to see from him over and over. We've played to final UCL and Club World Cup, and it's coming clutch. Kai Havertz has come in clutch in both two finals. I don't know. I don't know why people call him Brick Havertz, Shy Havertz, Loneliness Havertz. So many names like just make me laugh when people talk about him like this and that. But your take on Kai Havertz? Give me
You
your
know
take on
what?
Kai Havertz.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I share in a similar way the same. I don't want to use sentiment, but I share the same view as you. He's a player that from the moment that we signed him, he was a player I was rooting forward to see be successful. And like you said, his age, he's young, so obviously, people have wrongfully criticized him. I can remember in the first season. Sorry. I can remember in the first season where on Lampard he wasn't really playing in a position that he can probably get the best out of himself. And I mean, obviously he got COVID, and obviously before that he was performing well. I think something happened, and then after that he got COVID. He performed well, but he was also trying his best, even though he was playing out of position. And something that I found so ironic is that every time we played 4-2-3-1 under Frank Lampard, I can remember against Barnsley, even though it's a low team, he performed well. You could see him as a second striker with Tammy Abraham, whether or not people like him or not. Sevilla, I think the 4-0 win where Giroud scored all 4 goals. So I mean, he every time we played a 4-3-3-1, he performed better because in a sense he's playing as a cam. He has ability to play as a 10 closer to the number 9. So it allows him the freedom to go forward, try to be creative, even though people will say that he's not as creative. He does create chances. And you brought up the Champions League, and people will say that all he did was score a goal that Mason Mount set up. But if you look at it, he created two other crucial chances. One for Timo Werner, and that's the moment that Werner he mistimed it, and the ball just went past his foot. And the other time was for Pulisic. He made the chance himself, passed it to Pulisic, and Pulisic shot wide. But people don't really pay attention to that, and that's normal and that's common in football. If you don't score a goal, you don't perform well, and that's the unfortunate truth. Kai Havertz has done a lot of things. He's created a lot of chances. He's the only downside to him is that sometimes he doesn't take his shot with a lot of power. Sometimes it's straight at the goalkeeper. Sometimes it isn't. He doesn't do the right things, and obviously he goes wide and then he shoots it over the bar. But I mean, it's come on. He's young. He's still adapting to the league. I don't think he has fully adapted to the league, because the Bundesliga, it's a league where you have so many chances. And that's why you have certain players who come from Germany. It takes them more than 2 years. Sometimes it takes them months. Probably you can use Leon Bailey, even though Leon Bailey isn't necessarily playing every game for Villa. But he did have some impact in his first game. I think he scored a goal.
Now he's injured now. I don't even know when he's going to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, but with Leon Bailey, I think I don't remember his first game was against some team, and then obviously he played against Chelsea when we played Villa. But I mean, he did quite. He's a player who he needs time to adapt. Obviously, it takes players different opportunities. It takes them time to really adapt to the. It's not only for the German league. It happens for Brazilian leagues, Italy, because because each league have their own uniqueness. They all have their different demands, their different intensity, and I mean, you can probably use Saul Niguez as an example, because he used to the La Liga, where you have more time to decide where you're going to make your next pass. And I mean, in his first game against Villa, he proved that he didn't really, probably I don't want to say underestimated the league, but he didn't know what to expect, and it came quickly and fast for him. So he made a few mistakes in it because he's not used to it. But Kai Havertz, I'm really happy with Kai Havertz, because he's not only not a Super Cup, like he did play a role in the Super Cup as well. So in each of the finals that we played, he played a role, because he was responsible for for the Ziyech goal. He played a role with Alonso, and then the cross was taken in, and then Ziyech scored. And I mean, in the Premier League as well, he has stepped up in the big games, or in some of the big games, like against Liverpool. He scored the goal for the 1-1 game that we had. He opened his scoring. He's a player who steps up when it matters. But I mean, at the same time, like you said, he's young. He's what, I think he's 21, 22.
He's 22.
Yeah, he's 22. So he's still young, and I mean, he's still adapting to the league, because he's still new to it. Even though he's in his second season, the time does go by quickly. And I mean, even though it looks like he's been at the club for 2 years, at the same time, if you're not playing games, and that's another thing, he's never really been given a run of games. I mean, on the Tuchel, he hasn't. In the beginning, he was in his I don't want to say first season, because it was just months for Tuchel. But when Tuchel came in, you see he was in the starting 11 in games. But this season, he hasn't really been given a run of games if he scores. And for lots of fans, it really did frustrate him, because the last time that he had played before he came back in, it was against Spurs. He scored a goal and he injured himself, and then he injured his finger, and then after that he never came back into the team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, he has never really been given the opportunity to make mistakes and still play, because we've seen players like Mason Mount, who has really had poor games, but he's still playing because of people say that his energy and things like that, what he offers. But I mean, Mason Mount necessarily hasn't really done a lot of things that really is required, but he does try to do something, and that's what fans want to see. But with Kai Havertz, he's never really been given that chance to make the mistakes, still play games, try to improve on it. I mean, we've seen examples of where players who have made mistakes in games, they've been sloppy, start to perform good and become the best attackers. I can use Hakim Ziyech, for example. Hakim Ziyech obviously was against Man City, he was overhitting his passes to Lukaku, but at the same time, if you think about it, he was playing as a second right wing back, for example. But and you know when you have to go back and forth, I think it was he played on the left, sorry, not the right, because he was covering for Alonso, I think. So he had to run back and he had to be defensive and help the defense. So when you have to go run back and forth, you're gonna take a lot of energy out of you. So you're gonna be hitting passes with more power than you need to, and with less power than you need to. But I mean, he got the chances, he made the mistakes, and then eventually he started to put a name to say that I should get more game time, I should be playing more games consistently. But I mean, with Harvertz, if he gets the opportunity, and I mean, in the Club World Cup, the semi-finals, even though he didn't score a goal, he was influential in that game. And I mean, in this game, as in the Club World Cup final, he did perform well, and he got the deciding goal. And I'm really happy because for his critics, it's like he's silencing the critics, because people do give him a lot of stick. Some is justifiable, and some of them is true. But at the same time, some of them are too harsh on him, because they have to understand that he's young. And I mean, in football, we've seen that nobody has patience. And I think that's based on the way that the world is going right now. The world is becoming so technically advanced that you have everything at your fingers. You as in a blink of an eye, you can get answers. You can get what you want. So in the same time, it's difficult to have that type of lifestyle at the moment, where you have things at your fingertips, where you can get things as soon as you want it. So in a sense, if somebody's not doing something you want success, and you see them playing games and they're not performing like you want them to, obviously you're going to become impatient. But I think he's still young, like you said, and he needs the time to make the mistakes. And I don't want to say that he's like Eden Hazard, but in the beginning, when Eden Hazard started off, he was very thin, and maybe that's something that people want to see. They want to see more physical, because over the time you saw Hazard was able to shake off players off him. And I think the best example was against Arsenal when he scored that goal. He made that solo run. But in the past, obviously when he got older, he would get tackled. He'd be targeting more. So I don't really want to compare him to Hazard, but if you think about it, like from first season, Hazard wasn't the best. The second season, we saw an improvement, and that's similar to Harvertz. Harvertz has scored more goals than he did last season at this point, and I think it's a progression. So he's slowly improving, but at the same time, he has never been given the opportunity to make his mistakes, still performing games. But I mean, I'm happy that in the last two occasions where it mattered, he was able to get the crucial goals.
Yeah, I agree with everything you say, because a lot of stick has been given to Kai Havertz, and I'm happy he's showing the world how good of a player he is. I just want, because people knows my love, people on the social media knows my love about this man. So I don't want to talk too much about him. But if I start talking too much about him, we might not end the stream. We might go on and on and on and on. So like, my love for him is just too much, because I have seen the potential love from Bayer Leverkusen before Chelsea bought him. So I knew how good of a player he is in terms of his talent, his ability to shake off players, to score goals. So for me, I have no issues on him scoring goals, and I have no issues on him about his talent. My problem is just about the fancies. The fans just need to calm down, because this man will come in clutch. Regardless of what you think or not, he's going to come in. And he's 22. He is 22. So he's 22. So for me, him being 22 means he has a lot of time to improve on his game and become a better decision making. So for me, it will improve. It's a matter of time for me. Just have to like get on so many stuff, get his act together and perform. For me, he's just too talented for me. Very, very talented. And with time, with Kai Havertz, with time, oh Lord in heaven, my boy will show more. He will show up more with time. I just believe the fans want to come down and understand the kind of player he is and how we can improve in terms of going forward and his decision making. I have no problem with that. It will come good for me. So somebody asked me, what do you think of our front line? That is tough. Do you want me to include Romelu Lukaku into it or not, or just without Lukaku or with Lukaku? You have to Fraser, you have to like analyze it. Do you want me to include Romelu Lukaku or without Lukaku? If you want me to put Lukaku in it, I have to go to a 4-2-2-2 formation of maybe Conte Kovacic or Jorginho Kovacic. Then I'll go to Hakim Ziyech and then Mason Mount, and I'll go to Romelu Lukaku and Kai Havertz. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, whatever I think our best option is. Okay, I think I'll go with the 4-2-3-1 of Rudiger, Silva, Malangsa, Aspi. One is okay. If Rhys James is back, I'll play Rhys James. Then I believe I'll go with the 4-2-3-1 of Conte Kovacic, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz as a number 10, Christian Pulisic or Karim Masnoda as a left winger, and Romelu Lukaku as a number 9. That's what I'm gonna go for. 4-2-3-1 formation for me. What do you think?
You know what? For me, it's more difficult because I've seen this over the season where you have people saying that this should be the front three, or this should be the attack, and then they don't perform. So it gives you a difficult task to say this team should be playing. But for me, I would say with Lukaku in it, I'm gonna do one with and without Lukaku. So with Lukaku, I think it's probably for the attack. I would probably say maybe 4-2-3-1 as well, because I think it's worked wonders in recent weeks. So I would say Hakim Ziyech on the right, maybe Havertz in the as a cam, and maybe a Pulisic or Kalmos Nador on the left. Obviously, I know a lot of people will be saying where's Mason Mount in it, but I don't. I've seen this, and I think one of the reasons why I think Fran Lampard never really thought about changing the formation necessarily is because Mason Mount lacks certain attributes to really offer what is needed in different formations, which is why in a 4-3-3 he was able to perform, because he's more of as a box to box midfielder. So if you're playing him in a more offensive role where he has to be attack, he's gonna find it difficult because he's used to pressing, winning the ball back and then working it into the box and trying to do things like that. So I think for me, Mason Mount could be a rotational player because I haven't necessarily seen him perform consistently and saying that I should be performing in this formation. So I would probably say with Lukaku, it would be him up top with Kalmos with a rotation of a Pulisic, probably with a Havertz in the center and maybe a Mason Mount and Hakim Ziyech on the right. And without, I would say Havertz as the false 9. Maybe this one will include Mount, a Hakim Ziyech and a Kalmos Nador.
So you're gonna go to 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3?
I would go with a 4-2-3-1 because I don't think the 4-3-3 allows for you to make more mistakes and it allows you to concede more, and that's something that really caused the former manager his job, because it leaves a lot of gaps, it leaves a lot of space, and when you play a 4-2-3-1, there's more gaps that are filled, and I mean that's what has benefited the certain midfielders like a Jorginho, because it covers certain shortcomings that he has. So I mean it leaves the gaps to be a bit more closed. So I think that 4-2-3-1 is the better option. I think it's the best one to use.
That's true there, because yesterday Tuchel changed another formation from 3-4-2-1 to 3-5-2, then to 4-1-4. I was like, you can play 4-1-4-1. What the heck is going on with Thomas?
Yeah.
What's going on?
But and that's the thing. That's what Tuchel is. He's done it in at his former clubs, and people were complaining about he doesn't seem to have a plan B when things were going wrong. And and convenient enough is like he heard the cry because he has a record of changing formations in game, and that's what he did. He decided to show that that plan that he normally does in game. So it's convenient. I think he changed the formation 3 times from the back three, and then brought on certain players to switch it to a back four, and then to a back three again with Ziyech as a wing back. So it's convenient, but when you do that, it does confuse the opponent, and it makes the opponent not know what to do. So it's beneficial, and I want to see what happens in the future, because if it's something that he plans to do in game, then maybe it can give us an upper hand in game, because when you're playing one formation, it becomes predictable, and that's something that has happened with the back three, because I think that's what caused Conte the job in the first place, because we won with a back three, and then when you don't get the backing of the board, you get certain players in like the players that you got in, it's gonna cause some issues. You're gonna have a Morata who may score on a rare occasion. Then you have to bring in a Giroud in January because he's not performing well. So it's a situation where if you don't have that predictability, if you don't have a case where players are able to know that if I mark this player, their game plan falls apart, and that's what a lot of the top teams do, and that's what Man City are doing in particular. Even though I don't really think there's a lot between Chelsea and Man City. I think the only two things that really put them in different category is that Man City have more experience with each other. They have more chemistry. They have more experienced players. Because if you think about it, most of their players are 26, 27, 28, and in their 30s. So in a case, they have more experience. So yeah, it's not too far. But I think if you are able to change the formation in game, it does cause you to be less predictable, and when you're switching formations like that, it does benefit you in the end, because your opponents will not know what to do, and then that will leave them to only make mistakes, and then you can pounce on that, and that's what happened yesterday.
I agree. I agree with everything you said. Because there's more potential to this team going forward. Also, let's do the UCL stuff. We get into the end of this show. So, UCL schedule this week. So Tuesday, let me share the link. Let me share this team out for the UCL. Finally, it is back. Tuesday, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Sporting Manchester City. Then Wednesday we have RB Salzburg, Bayern, and Inter Milan, Liverpool. What a match! Wow, what a match! Your take on these two matches: PSG, Real Madrid Tuesday, and Sporting Manchester City.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting, because both teams in their respective leagues are currently top. They're both playing impressively. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of narratives, because you're going to be having certain players who are performing well. I think Real Madrid have fallen short recently, but they're still top, and they're still grinding out resources. They're grinding out goals. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, because PSG, they both have a kind of an opposing situation where they have Messi, who people be criticizing, saying is finished, things like that. So it's a case where Messi is a UCL type of player as well. He can step up. So it'll be interesting to see, because you have Benzema, who's continuing to improve and to progress this season. You have a Vinicius Junior who started off very slow, and is starting to be more key. He's being more impactful in their attack. So it'll be interesting to see who comes on top, because you have a PSG team that have a Messi who hasn't necessarily been consistent with goal scoring, performing at a top level. But at the end of the day, it's a Champions League. A lot of things can happen. PSG are still eager to win the Champions League, because they've fallen short 2 seasons in a row. So obviously they'll be willing to try anything. And I mean, they were able to eliminate the team that defeated them in the final in Bayern Munich. So it's not difficult to really put a a good performance together. But it'll be interesting to see because Real Madrid are in good form with Ancelotti, and they have players who are really started to have their best season ever since the start of the current season. So it'll be interesting to see what happens because there's a lot of narratives. Will Messi step up? Will Messi start to prove that for a lot of people, or to prove to a lot of people that he isn't finished? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But when Sporting and Man City, I think in a sense, Man City are obviously going to be looked at as the favorites for the game. But Sporting, they're not a bad team. I'm not sure of where they are currently in their league.
The Portuguese league. I think they're at the top of the table. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so for both games, it's a game against the top. So if Sporting is in first position, then
Yeah, no,
Porto is in.
Sporting is in second.
Yeah, so in a sense, Sporting and Porto, those teams, actually three of them actually, Benfica are those three teams tend to be the teams that really, in a sense, people look at to make it into a Farmers League, because you don't really have a lot of the other teams really stepping up, winning on a rare occasions. Sometimes they will, but I think for Sporting is a team that really can do things, and they've done a lot of things in the Champions League before, so it's not impossible. Okay.
Go ahead. Continue. My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, but I was saying that Sporting have done things in the past to really cause us a surprise in the Champions League. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it, but I think, if I'm being realistic, I think Man City will continue to score a goal because they're a team that are like a goal machine right now. They don't have a necessarily recognizable striker. Obviously, they have signed a young player who really looks like he has a potential, but I think they're able to score goals. They're able to grind goals out, and like I said, they have the experience with each other. They have goal scorers all around the pitch. So even if their attack isn't scoring, they have a Cancelo who can easily score a goal for them. They have a player like a Gundogan who can score goals if needs be. KDB. You have Stones who can probably do something, and Diaz who can score goals. So you have a lot of players who are good aerially. Who, if the game looks to be going very sloppy, they can always score a goal out the
Step
blue.
up individuals.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see, but Sporting have caused a lot of shock in the past, so it'd be interesting to see what they do. But they're a team that do tend to score a lot of goals as well. I think the last 3 games they've scored approximately 8 goals. They won 4-1 early in February. At the start of February, they won 2-0 on the 6th of February, and in against Porto, they're drawn 2-2. But I mean, they're able to score goals. They're able to hold on to game clean in games, and I mean, they won a trophy earlier this season. So they do have certain things that they can build on. But I wouldn't be surprised if they cause a shock. But if I'm being realistic, I think Man City will be able to get it over them because they have the ability to score from all around the pitch. So even if the attack aren't able to find the back of the net, they can easily step up and maybe get a goal from the defense or midfield.
So, because after that, the next week is gonna be the one we're gonna preview the next week one. Or should we just preview it right now? Or the next week, because it's gonna be 2 matches. One play this week, the other one play next week. Oh, we have Wednesday matches: Salzburg, Bayern, Liverpool, Inter. Your take on that?
Ooh, yeah, man. I like the way that
the way Bayern has been playing recently. That is a suspect.
Yeah. I mean, they've lost. I think they lost what 4-2.
4-1. Is it 4-2?
I think it was 4. I think
Is it
no 4-2.
Bundesliga?
Yes,
Wait, is it
4-2
Bundesliga?
because I think Lewandowski scored 2 goals.
Yeah,
and
is
then
it the Bundesliga or is a cup? What do they play? What is this thing that this cup that they play? Is it Bundesliga that they lose 4-2? Is it Bundesliga that they lose 4-2?
I think it was VF Bolcom.
Yeah. Is it Bundesliga that they lost 4-2? When did they lose that?
I think it was the Bundesliga.
Whoa. Wow. 4-2?
Yeah, but I think the team they lost to is at the bottom of the Bundesliga.
What? Wow.
I think so. I may be wrong, but I think that's the case because I think they're either at the bottom or they're in the relegation.
Let me check.
So yeah, he said they do look suspicious because I think they nearly lost to RB Leipzig
Mm-hmm.
and they lost to the team. I'm still trying to check if they're at the bottom of the league because I mean, like you said, they are starting to look suspicious. I mean, in the
They're
Champions
11th. Between the rest are 11th. They're 11th.
yeah, so they're a team that are doing poorly based on standings. But yeah, I mean they do look suspicious. They look like they could easily get eliminated from the Champions League. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, but I still feel like they have enough in them. They do have certain players who can score goals for them. Lewandowski is a goal machine as well. I think for a lot of teams they would love to have somebody like him. But I mean, Salzburg, if I'm not mistaken, I think Salzburg are in the Austria league. So I think
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where they are, but I think
See.
both teams have a chance. They did win. They did win games. In all fairness, they can win games, and I mean they can easily
Salzburg is top. They are top of the team.
yeah. But with Salzburg, they're a team that tend to perform well in the Champions League. Obviously, they lost Holland, they lost Daka, and players like that. But they do have certain players still that are actually good. They have players who have the potential. They have a lot of youthful players there as well. I think they have Karim. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Adeyemi.
Yeah, so they have youthful players as well who are really impressive. So I think based on the way Bayern have playing, it wouldn't be surprising if they get a shock because they've lost to a team that are what in 11th place and there's 18 teams in the Bundesliga. So it's a case where they're losing games to teams that you'd expect them to win against, and I think it's a case where it wouldn't be surprising if something surprising happens. But in all fairness, it all comes down to who steps up because if Bayern are able to bounce back from losing 4-2, and I suppose if Salzburg can continue to win games like they are, then that'd be fantastic.
So the big one on Wednesday, the big one, Inter Milan Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying I like the way that that the Champions League has been set up. You have these intense games, that are first, that are the first games to play, obviously. But for this game, I think Inter Milan have really fallen off since last season when they won the Scudetto. But I mean, I think it's a case they're in second place, and I mean they have certain players who are stepping up for them. They drew yesterday with Napoli in fact. So I think it's a case where they do have their shortcomings. They did lose players. They obviously they lost certain players. They still do have Martinez. They lost Conte, who just walked out on them. So they haven't really looked the same. But at the same time, they're not too far behind Milan. I think they're 1 point behind AC Milan in particular.
1 point, yeah. AC Milan, yeah.
Yeah, so it's even, and they have a better goal difference than them as well. So it's not they're in form, and Liverpool as well, they're in second. So conveniently, it's the battle against the second place teams in their respective leagues. So Liverpool are another team that are able to score goals from their midfield. Fabinho scored their only goal against Burnley today. So it's interesting to see what happens. But with Inter Milan, they do have goal scorers as well. They have players who can step up, and that's something I like about you. When you have players, if their attackers are not doing good, we have certain players who can step up,
Step up, yeah, that's true.
give them, and in
Lautaro
fairness,
Martinez, Edin Dzeko will step up, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, he's a number 9 now. He was playing in as a striker along with Martinez as well. So in all fairness, Martinez didn't step up, but you have Zeko who was able to score a goal for them. So if they do have players who can score goals, and I think one thing that they do lack is that they don't really have the defense that actually can really be consistent, because they do have some good players in. They got some recruitment in there. They have Dumfries there. I think they have Barella. They have a Vidal who in recent years used to be a good player for Barcelona. But I mean, they don't really have the same sting that they had last season. And obviously, it all comes down to losing players, losing Hakimi. Lukaku who was key to the system that they played, was able to score goals for them. So I mean, and it was supportive of Martinez. So you can see like a little drift and a drop in the Martinez performances, because even though Martinez is a goal scorer, he had some he had a really good partner in Lukaku who was able to reduce some of the pressure that's on him. So when he scores goals, and you have a striker who's still do that. And even Zeko, to think about the fact that Zeko scored and Martinez wasn't able to, it's a case where, even though I think Martinez had a good game, but I think even though he didn't score, he had one striker who was able to step up, or he had an attacker who was able to step up for them when they mattered. So, like I said, if both teams have players who can step up for them, so I think this game will have goals. I think it will be a case of who outscores who, because I think they can get goals from all over the pitch as well, both teams.
Fair enough, fair enough. So I think this round up my topic for today, because Chelsea played next week. So I think next week will be the time we're gonna talk much about the UCL. But this Sunday is just all about it's all about United, um the Club World Cup and everything. So firstly, before I round up, give me your take on the Club World Cup. Are you impressed with the way we play? Because most fans are angry with the way we played. It's like people like me was like, oh, as much as I'm winning, I'm fine. But your take on the Club World Cup?
I mean, I have heard a lot of people say that we didn't really deserve it. Chelsea fans in particular, saying that we didn't deserve it because we were playing very sloppy. But at the same time, I do share the view that it doesn't really matter, because I think it was Blue Eyes that was saying it before he left. That even if you're performing bad, if you're able to grind out goals, grind out results, it doesn't matter, because eventually something will click and you'll start to build on the wins that you're getting on the sloppy performances. But at the same time, I think the team was still adjusting to returning back from that break that they had. So they had some sloppy games. The semi-final, I think Kepa was crucial for them, because Al Hilal they created 3 clear-cut chances in the second half, and Kepa was equal to them, and he was key to it. But I think Chelsea were very sloppy in both games, but at the same time, they did in the last 20 minutes and the last 5 minutes, they started to perform better. And after the goal that Harvertz scored, even though he nearly scored 2 goals, and then obviously we know that the Palmeiras player got a red card after that. But I mean, there were some aspects, and what I love to do is I like to rewatch the game, so I'm able to see things, because in the heat of the moment, you're not really paying attention to each detail. You're paying attention to wanting your team to win it. You don't care how. You want to just see them score a goal, outscoring the opponents, and get the trophy, and that's it. But I like to rewatch the game, because I like to see the things that I don't really see at the moment, because I'm paying attention to who's going to be scoring goals. In the moment, you're emotionally you're saying, why did this player do this? But when you rewatch the game, you're able to see that on some occasions they had no other choice, because if they do this, the chance is wasted, or if they do that, then they're going to either miss the chance or it's going to be saved. So I mean, we were sloppy, but we did have a few minutes where we were able to really put a lot of pressure on Palmeiras. We should have scored our goals. Obviously, we had Pulisic who we worked it so many times, but Pulisic was either shooting wide, the goalkeeper stopping it. Silva was even stepping up, taking shots. Rudiger. We became very desperate after Palmeiras got the.
I think the problem was because we haven't won it before, so the pressure
Yeah,
was.
so we had intensity and I kept not kept Kante was saying for a lot of players it was their first time playing in a competition. Obviously, Aspi was probably the only person that was in that place before. Obviously, you had Kovacic who won it with Real Madrid, even though he didn't really participate really in their campaigns over the years.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a lot of players, it was their first time really playing a role in it, getting a chance to really win a trophy, make history, win the only trophy that was missing from the cabinet. So obviously they performed like it was it was a final and they desperately wanted it. I think losing FA Cup really shook them up because ever since that we really stepped up in finals. We tend to really prove that we want to win it. We see how important it is, no matter what the competition is, no matter who the opponents are. We don't underestimate them because in all fairness, Palmeiras is a good team in Brazil. Obviously, they won the Copa.
The battle.
Yeah, so obviously they got there not easily. They had to fight off teams like a Flamengo and teams like that. So obviously it's not a case where they just got there and they deserve it. They had to work hard for it. So they're not a team that they can just easily get past because they improved and I like when teams like that who are really looked at as the underdogs, get that far because Palmeiras they got to the final. They in the years before they had not gotten to the final, so obviously it's good for them. But I think Chelsea did perform as good as they could because they were coming back from a break, and obviously when you're not playing games, when your body's not doing the activities that it's used to, obviously you're not going to remember how to do things. Your body's going to be all the place because your body is getting rested. Obviously, you may do some exercise to ensure that your body isn't out of shape and you're unfit. But at the same time, when you're not performing and you're not playing games like you're used to, like your body's used to playing 3 to 4 days a game. So obviously, when you get arrested and you have the time to relax, it's going to take time for you to get back into the groove of playing games. And I think they were able to really get the win, even though they weren't performing well. But for me, I really don't about the fact that we didn't really perform good because at the end of the day, we got 2 goals. We were able to work. We had a lot of chances. We didn't just get a chance gifted to us. We got the penalty. The build up to Lukaku's goal was a good one, and the cross from Callum Hudson-Odoi, who was poor in some aspects because in as that performance, we have obviously as a left wing back that isn't his position, but in recent time he did step up in that position, but comparing to what he normally does when he plays there, he wasn't really as good as he used to. But it's not his position. So at the same time, you can understand that because it's not his position. But I think he did quite well. He made 2 crosses. One of them was successful. Lukaku finished it. But whether or not we perform well, I don't really think that really matters because at the end of the day, we got the final trophy that was missing. And at the moment, we can say that we are the champions of the world. And a lot of teams cannot really say that we're wrong because whether or not they want to say that you have to perform, you have to play against this team to win it, I don't really think a lot of fans really care about that because we got the trophy, we made history, winning all trophies in the Roman Abramovich era. So I don't think really it matters. And I just want to add this short thing for the last thing that I want to say. I really wish it was in 2021 because the stats is going to be that 21 trophies in 2021 in total. So unfortunately it was in 2022. So we're not able to say that 21 trophies in 2021, but it is what it is.
I get what you're saying. We've won almost all club level trophies on that Roman Abramovich.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. So guys, like the video, subscribe. You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm trying to get to 100.
Okay, guys,
Subscribers.
please subscribe to Thai Talk CFC channel. Guys, my people, I beg, subscribe to the channel, guys. Please, my brother, my people in the chat, please subscribe to the channel. Is a Thai Talk CFC channel. Please, guys, let's get the kind of subscription up. It's getting to 200. So let's make it 200. Let's make it 300. Let's make it 400, guys. We can do this, guys. My people, we can do it. Guys, subscribe to Thai Talk CFC channel, YouTube channel,
Yeah.
please, guys.
It's exactly like that as well.
I have
It's
subscribed
exactly
also,
as you
guys.
see on the screen.
I have subscribed. Please, guys. Please, you guys do to subscribe to guys. I will so much appreciate if you guys can subscribe to the channel, guys. Let's get our brothers up, guys. Let's get him up. Let's get him up, guys. Let's get him up. We love each other in the Chelsea fan base. Let's get it up, guys. Let's get it up, guys. My people, let's do it. I know you guys can do it. Splashnet, Infinity, Albert, CFC Time, Adam, Fraser, SSB, Steven. We guys can do it, guys. Please, my people. Tao Talk CFC. Let's get him let's get the like and subscribe up, guys. I know you guys can do it. Like the video, subscribe. Like the video, subscribe, guys. Guys, I appreciate you guys for coming on tonight, guys. Peace, everybody. God bless and stay safe, guys. God bless.